another episode of Mike Chuck covering all things wrestling in Nebraska. Got a loaded show tonight, Chuck. This is, I don't know if we're going to be on time. We're going to do our best.
We might go over. And you always say these things right before we go on that make me want to just cuss you out, and then you just jump right on here. So
yeah,
it's going to be a little hostile today.
We got, I think the two wrestlers we have aren't real fans of each other either. But that's okay. We'll get through it. So just run down the show here. First up, we have Lincoln East co-head coach Jeff Rutledge, and then Bennington's Kyler Lauridsen, and then Millard South's Logan Glynn, who both had very big weekends. And then we will finish the show with Cody Manquist from NEWrestle to kind of break down what happened and look ahead to the weekend like we always do. So let's just get right to it with Coach Rutledge. Chuck, what do you think?
I'm in. He's always a fun person to talk to.
Yeah, he's got a high energy guy. I mean, unlike you don't have very.
Remember when you told me I wasn't born ready, and here I was ready?
You're never born ready. I don't know what you're talking
about. Yeah, I just hate you so much. So much.
That's okay. I will never be able to. You'll never be able to live down that one time on the mat. So we're not talking about it.
Let's go ahead and bring on Coach Rutledge.
All right. Hey, Coach, how we doing?
Hey guys, good, doing well.
You're doing pretty well. I mean, your team had a pretty successful weekend and a pretty tough tournament in Council Bluffs at the Council Bluffs Classic. Team champions out of 41 teams from across basically the upper Midwest here. How'd you do it?
Well, I tell you what, a team effort for sure. We brought 14 guys, and I think 13 of them at least won a match, and I think 7 of them were in the top 6. Not one champ, so that's kind of new. We didn't have one guy that won the tournament, but the depth really paid off for us, and we've got an outstanding group of young men that they're great wrestlers, but they're even greater people. We got some great leaders, so it makes it really fun to coach when they're also really good wrestlers.
Coach, those little guys are fun to watch, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got a lot of energy. I've been joking that Matty Marco, he got second this weekend. I joke that he's my spirit animal because he's just got this. Well, first he's an animal, and he paces back and forth. I've got to calm him down a little bit, but his hand just twitches before the whistle blows, and as soon as the whistle blows, he's putting his hands on guys, and he's just a full go for 6 minutes. So he's fun to be able to be in the corner for. And we got a 106 and Caden Engel, who had a really great performance, really breakout performance for us. And then Leland Sindel just continued to improve as he enters his senior year. So it's been a really great 1-2-3 punch here the first couple weeks.
That was like me. I just paced around, had my music on.
Yeah.
I would burn so much energy before my match, but it just was my kind of thing that I needed the intensity to kind of get going. So that's yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically you would love for every duel to start at 106.
Yeah. I think so. I'd be an advocate of that. I wasn't always, I do like the giving other people an opportunity to start or to finish the duel, but I definitely would say it would benefit us this year for sure.
You guys have a backlog at the upper weights. I guess we were talking off camera here. What are you gonna do? I mean, you basically all your I wouldn't say your best guys, but you got a pretty good backlog there at those upper weights.
Yeah, for sure. When they changed the weight classes, it really kind of shifted one of those upper weights down to kind of a middle weight, which in years past I would have been fine with. But this year, I feel like we have 5 to 6 guys that could all be state medalists. They weigh right in that 190 to 210 range. And so we've got some guys that are making a sacrifice and are trying to descend to a weight class right now. We have 2 state qualifiers actually that weren't in the lineup this past weekend. But again, we've got some incredible junior varsity wrestlers that have developed last year, and now they're filling in and they're scoring big time points. So they're not going to be just backing down from anyone. So it's a really good problem to have, as a coach. It's difficult to see some of your wrestlers spend a whole lot of time that develop, and it's just, it's part of the sport. You got to figure it out. We're going to spend this weekend with our duels, kind of shifting some lineups around and figuring out, who looks best at different weight classes and trying to find some separation in our big guys. But it's a good problem to have. And just looking forward to kind of solidifying that lineup here as we move along the season.
Are you getting any interesting calls from your 190 pounders parents?
Are you talking Coach Manning here?
Yes, yeah. Coach Manning.
Yeah, no, he's so busy, dominating right now at the Division I level. I hear from him every now and then, but Will is an outstanding kid. Ryan was our quarterback at East, and Will had hundreds of tackles on the football field. So it was a kind of a fun fall to just cheer them on, and now to have them be a part of the Spartan program, it's been pretty special. They're good people. It's people that you want to have just to be around and to have as leaders to kind of point to them and be like that. Do it like that. And they work hard, and both of those boys are special kids.
Coach Manning, having him basically, you just kind of have his ear. And I mean, we're talking about a legendary coach here. How do you kind of balance, like, hey, what are you seeing? Or like, you're just a parent. That's a little tough balance.
Yeah, for sure. I think at the beginning of the year, I was a little nervous, of like, oh God, I gotta be a great coach for Coach Manning but honestly, he does a phenomenal job at knowing his role of being a dad. And I think, Ryan, really before high school, I think he told me that he had less than 20 matches of wrestling experience. So he's really let wrestling be his kids' deal and not really his deal. He's just supported his kids in whatever avenue that they wanted to get into. And Will's, starting to kind of pick up his interest for the sport of wrestling, and it turns out he's really, really good.
Imagine that.
kind of dipping in back into Nebraska wrestling there as well. How big of an advantage is it for you guys to have the NWTC down there, and one of your really good friends, and just probably one of the better coaches around too in Tervel? How big of an advantage is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's been huge. We've really pushed our guys to go there, and it's just, minutes away from our high school, and for our kids to have access to Tervel, who, is, in my opinion, he's one of my best friends. So I'm biased, but he's a wrestling guru. Jordan Burroughs thinks, has tweeted things like he's his mental guru, so the elite of the elites recognize Tervel as being just very cognitive and knowing the sport at a super deep level. But even more so, the wrestling part of it is the mindset that he gives them. He usually kind of breaks down each practice with, proper thinking. And I think that's probably the most valuable thing that our guys have that experience for. And then you've got guys like Liam Cronin and Division I wrestlers that are, top of the top. And so for our guys to rub shoulders with them and to kind of see how they train and to see how they think and just the proper perspective on the sport, there's nothing like it. It's pretty phenomenal to have that connection.
You guys have, I guess we talked to you 2 years ago for this show, and I think I brought it up at the time. I tried to go back and listen to that about just building a program. And it's a lot different than building a basketball high school program or even football. It's a little bit not harder to do, but it's just a little bit different. How do you go about building a program where now you guys are like, I mean, you're in the thick of it. I guess the people that rank teams don't have you ranked number one, but you're very much so in the thick of that. How hard is that to kind of build to that level? You've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, it is different than a lot of the sports. I think like basketball and baseball, the more popular sports, kids just grow up. Parents have experience with that, and they get their kids into early sporting programs, and they're very highly skilled when they start. I think that the great thing about wrestling is that if you've got the fundamentals, like body awareness, strength, quickness, so many other sports can kind of really contribute that. Really all I need is someone who just is passionate about wrestling. And if they can love wrestling, we can really help them develop very, very quickly. Like our 175 pounder just comes to mind, or Charlie Everman had a really great, I think he ended up getting second in the silver bracket this weekend, but he's in his second year of wrestling, and so he's just got this passion for the sport, and he's wanting to grow. And so if you've got that, we can work with you, and I feel like we can really develop you at a really high level. But yeah, I think wrestling is a little bit different than a lot of the other sports, is because of the nature of the sport and being able to develop. Like Tervel, for instance, he started his sophomore year of high school, so he quickly became one of the best in college, and then one of the best in the world. So a lot can be done in a little bit of time if you got the right mentality.
So
Mike said he could take down Tervel?
Yeah, I think Tervel would maybe get a couple hand fights in with Mike, and he might feel his power. I mean, it works.
Mike, can we see this?
No, there's zero chance in doing that.
What?
Are you crazy? You keep bringing that up, and you said it in front of him, and he I'm standing there, you're standing there, and he looks over like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, no chance. There's zero chance. I'm not even him with one hand. That's just not going to happen.
It's just crazy to me how much your attitude changes once the camera's on. Because you were just talking to me and Coach about this.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay, I have one last one for you here, Coach Rutledge, before we let you go.
You bet.
So Lincoln East baseball has been really good, and Coach Lanik has built a program from nothing into winning a state championship and making it to a state final in the last 2 years. He's a big, big culture guy. And I think the world of Coach Lanik. I really do. I think he's phenomenal. Do you guys kind of talk? Do you converse? Do you the sports are so different, but do you, as coaches in the same building, do you kind of have each other's ear a little bit to talk about how to build or culture stuff or those sort of things?
Oh yeah. Coach Lanik and I, so we teach PE together. We're co-teachers of a team sports class together right now. So I like to kind of beat them up in the sports and let them know who the real athlete in the building is. But yeah, it's the wrestling coach. But yeah, for sure. We have conversations that are informal conversations. We hang out afterwards. And when it's really nice to have coaches that are really mentors. Lincoln East is so blessed with Coach Gingery, who's been there forever, and just to be able to kind of talk through situations and to learn how they run their program. It makes us better. And that's one of the things that I would say that has been the biggest blessing of being at Lincoln East High School, is being able to bounce those ideas off each other. And like you said, just being able to watch Coach Lanik and what he did with the baseball program and how he's built a culture, and then try to emulate the same thing with wrestling. I think he's probably would say this. He's done the same thing with the baseball program. And so it's been a really awesome working environment to have coaches like Coach Lanik.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck in Grand Island this weekend. I think you guys are going to do just fine because, you once again had a pretty successful weekend in Council Bluffs.
It's loaded. Grand Island. It's always kind of that mini state tournament, beforehand. I consider it the districts of the state duels, because if you got your lineup and you do well here, you should qualify for state duels. But Kearney High, Grand Island, Columbus, they're loaded teams. Norfolk just beat Millard South, so we'll have our hands full, but we're looking forward to competing. All
right, man. We'll talk to you later, and good luck.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a good one, Coach.
All right. Lincoln East.
I can't believe your attitude changed when the camera's turned on.
I've never said that. I have never in my life.
All right.
Crazy.
All right. Whatever you have to say.
I am not crazy. I am not going to get on a wrestling mat with Tervel. Are you kidding? There's no way.
I said that you shouldn't do it, and your tune was completely different, singing a different song.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right. Okay, next up, we have one of the best wrestlers in the state. Is that fair? That's fair. That's more than fair.
That's pretty fair. It's pretty fair.
I think it's hard to argue that. And depending on who you talk to, the best wrestler in the state, and coming off a Council Bluffs Classic championship, and kind of, I'm not going to say easy. Well, it was kind of easy for him, actually. Pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually don't want to say it like that, but yeah,
It made pretty quick work.
he's kind of a dude.
Yeah. Not a bad football player either. So is Kyler Lauridsen from Bennington. So Kyler, how are we doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Doing great. Maybe not as good as you. Definitely doing better than Chuck.
This freaking guy. Hey, who was there watching you wrestle on Saturday?
Me, I was there.
That's I was there. I was there. I watched the finals match. I don't know about you, but I was right there.
I wasn't able to stay for the finals match due to other obligations. Thank you.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, Kyler. First of all, let's get this out of the way first. But congratulations on your commitment to UNK or Nebraska Kearney to play football.
Yeah.
Why football and why Kearney?
Well, first off, I chose Kearney. I just like the town, the coaches. They were really on me. I like them a lot too. I think the program's heading in the right directions, and it was just the right spot for me academically too. So there's a lot of things that went into that decision, and I chose football. I think it's just I have more fun with it, to be honest. I think that's what my heart like. I think that's what I love. I love wrestling too, but I think football is just there. That's what I wanted to keep doing.
How does this? Who knew that it was a penalty to hurdle someone? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it, and I want it taken back.
Yeah. No, I think the rule is pretty dumb, but I'm not going to lie. Our coaches, we have a rule. It's like on Wednesday, we have a rule every week that they go over, and they did go over that rule one time. So I kind of knew in the back of my head it was illegal, but in the moment, I didn't really know. I thought it was the best decision to like get more yards, so I did it. But as soon as I landed, I knew it was probably coming back. So,
well, as the person that took a video of that play, I didn't delete it, even though it didn't count. And I was like, "Yeah, we're using that. Like, we're definitely gonna keep that. We're gonna use that."
Yeah, no, it was pretty sweet. But I wish it would have counted. I think it's pretty dumb, but it is what it is.
We're here to talk about wrestling, but I have one more football question. How long did it take you to like not be sore after the Class B state championship football game? Because you left it all out there.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like a week and a half. I got back like wrestling Friday, but my body was still hurt for sure. I would say a week when I got fully recovered, and then just hop right back into wrestling too. So I mean, that doesn't really help with your body. I don't know. Still kind of ache a little bit. This
dude was everywhere. Like,
I mean, making almost every tackle, almost had the ball almost every play.
It was fun. It was fun for sure.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch. And like that's one of those games where you just remember that like I'll never forget that single performance, even in a loss. I'm just like, that dude was amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Appreciate it.
What kind of prepares you for those big moments? Because it seems like when the brighter the lights, the better you perform. What's kind of gotten you ready for that, and what's kind of your mental process for it?
Well, I would just say it definitely comes through preparation, just practice, giving 100% every rep. I think that's when the lights get bright, you fall back to your training, and I think I've done the right things on and off the field, and our team has. That's why we've been there 4 years straight. So I think what we do in practice, we compete, we make each other better, and that's what makes us, when the lights come on, that's what we show out.
Council Bluffs was, like we said, you kind of just rolled through it, but it's a tough tournament. I mean, there's 41 teams from all over the upper Midwest, and you just kind of handled your business. Walk us through like the tournament for you, because it was pretty much a breeze.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt good to get back out there. I felt smooth. Definitely felt good. It didn't feel like it was my first tournament in like 9 months. But I mean, the matches, my gas tank, it's a little bit off right now. I'm not quite in wrestling condition, so I just went out there and tried to get the matches over with as fast as I could, just try to get the pins, and that's what I did, most of them except one. But it was good to test my gas tank a little bit and get back in shape. So the semifinals, that one was.
Yeah.
What's a 4th state title mean to you this year?
I mean, it means everything. That's my obviously main goal. It's what I wanted to do as a kid, 4-time state champion. And as soon as I won it freshman year, I knew that's what I was going to try to do. So it's just last year.
there's been a lot of 4-timers, and obviously, some of them. That fourth is the hardest one. Actually, the first one's probably the hardest, but then the fourth is probably the hardest one after the first one. What's your mindset like right now? Kind of knowing that could possibly, be your final wrestling match of your career.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one match, one meet at a time. Just take it day by day, try to get better every single day. And then once I get there, I'm planning on getting there. Once I do, I'll just try to have fun, take it all in, and just wrestle my match. Just have fun out there.
Kind of looking, a little bit into the future here. Once you guys all complete this and you look back on it, how much it mean for you, Tyson and Cade, all this year, being Nebraska boys, kind of growing up, going through it together, to all go out as, potentially all-timers?
Yeah, those are my guys. I love them all. It's a big shout out to the coaches when we were younger. Ryan, Terry, Brett, all good. Todd McNeely, they trained us hard. They made us do the right things on and off the mat, made us the best grown man. I mean, they're great kids. If you meet them too, they do the right things. I mean, I would say it's all back to our coaches. Our practices, we would get after each other, but it's all love too at the end of the day.
And we gotta give a shout out to your dad too.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I love him. He backs me in everything I do. So it's great to have him in my corner.
Yeah, he at our Preps Award thing, him and I got to chat a little bit, and he is awfully proud of you, and I guess his sons. I mean, your brother's pretty good. So yeah. So your dad is your parents. I guess I'll say both are pretty proud of you, and your efforts, and that's not everyone kind of has that. So that parental support and your coaches.
Absolutely.
Are pretty good too. I think Coach Linhart, obviously wrestling coach, and your football coach has kind of been in your corner for a long time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I got great adults in my life. They support me 100% through everything. I couldn't ask for better people.
I mean, that's just a super cool thing to do. Like you said, go from your fall sport, you've got a great coach. Your winter sport, you've just got one of the best ever. I mean, Bennington's just got you set up for success out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to be right now. I mean, the coaches, you can't ask for anything else. Linhart, Picorni, they're great people.
Yeah.
Know what they're talking about too.
All right, man. Good luck the rest of the way. And we'll try and obviously catch you, when we can down the road here before it gets to late February at the CHI Health Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, brother.
Yeah. I just said thanks, guys. That was dumb, but that's okay.
Well, you are dumb, so.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Okay, next up, moving right along to another Council Bluffs Classic champion. We have Millard South Logan Glynn up next, and I got some questions for him. So, Logan, how we doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. You're doing pretty good, I guess, after this weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun weekend.
It's a nice shirt you got on there, too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Walk me through kind of your mindset. Yeah, your mindset coming back knowing that, hey, I might see this guy in the finals that I just feel like I maybe should have beaten the week before, and maybe felt like I got jobbed a little bit the week before. Was it like a revenge mindset, or what was your thinking?
It wasn't really a revenge, or it was just kind of, I want to go out and beat this kid because I don't know, I just lost to him. So I mean, yeah, kind of a revenge, but I just wanted to go prove that I was better than him.
One of my favorite things about watching you wrestle is that you wrestle with almost like a little chip on your shoulder. You're not afraid to speak how you feel on the mat either. So, where does that come from?
I don't know. I don't like being disrespected, I guess, sometimes, because kids will like try to. It's not really disrespect, but like kids will try to hang in with me, and like I just want to prove like I'm better than them, and I just kind of like being flashy. Like my favorite UFC fighter, Conor McGregor and Sugar Sean. Like I just like being flashy, I guess.
Is there a point where it's like, okay, I need enough, match time? Like how long do you kind of let it go before you're like, all right, let's go, let's end this thing in a match? Or do you feel like you get enough in your wrestling room where like let's just end this thing, like I'm done messing around?
No, I take my matches all seriously. It's just like, I don't know, my style kind of makes it look like I am not really trying, I guess. But every match is the same. Like I'm going to a specific game plan, and yeah, the practice room, I mean, it's good, but I like to go get that hard push out at a tournament.
Things got a little fiery at the end of your match on Saturday. Was that you guys just showing respect to each other? Was it kind of blown out of proportion, or?
I mean, it was all love. There was no hate in that conversation between me and him. But the weekend before, I did kind of fire off some rude comments or some things that shouldn't have been said during the match, or well, not during the match, but after the match, and it got chippy at the end of last week's match.
So coming back this week, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna handle my business, and when I do, I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talk to us about Millard South, right? Like it's now this what's the word I'm looking for? The standard bearer, and everybody's gunning for you, and you're expected to win a state championship every year as a team. And basically everybody that steps on the mat for Millard South is expected to win every single match. How do you handle that pressure as a group? How does Coach Olson, I guess, and the coaching staff kind of handle that, or what do they tell you?
Our coaches really just tell us to go have fun. Like it's not really like a big deal to go out and wrestle for Millard South, but they do tell us to like stay calm when calls don't go our way, because we are Millard South. People want to beat us. Like the refs normally don't really like us. Yeah, just calm and have fun pretty much.
What are you wanting to leave as your legacy? Like, what are you wanting to? What are your goals? Are you wanting to just be a state champion? Are you wanting to go down as one of the most dominant ever? Like, what are kind of your goals here?
Are you talking about in Nebraska or like overall in general?
In general.
I don't know. In Nebraska, I guess I just want to be known as like one of somebody's favorite people to watch, I guess. Like I just like when people like to watch me wrestle. And then like overall, I want to go win an NCAA title for UNC. But yeah, and then go coach, obviously, after.
What went into your decision to commit to Northern Colorado? Like why there? Why then?
I've always had like somewhat of a connection, kinda, because my dad's cousin is best friends with Garrett Kiley. He coaches there, and they've always just been in my top three. So like after I got the scholarship there and took my visit there, I just fell in love. I really like the coaches and what they're doing there.
Do you think that your style, being kind of a upper body Greco type guy, fits in well with Northern Colorado, since they've got such good Greco coaches out there too?
Yeah, I definitely say for sure. Yeah.
Hey, what do the tattoos mean?
The tattoos, my leg one,
is there a meaning of them? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So this one is my. I don't know if here. Let me stand up and show you, kind of.
Yeah,
this is my family crest, and my dad has it on his left arm, on his forearm, and so I just kind of copied it because like some of our family has it, and I just wanted to represent my family. And then this 3-leaf clover on my
Yeah.
cap. Me and my brother, sister, and mom and dad got it on my birthday. So we got the 3-leaf clover because my mom's favorite number is 3. She has 3 kids. We all use 3 for everything. I use 3 for my video game name tag.
Got it. And so there is a meaning, right? It's not just some randomness.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, man. Well, good luck the rest of the season, and we will for sure see you down the road.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, that's a tough kid right there.
I'm not going to hand fight with him, let alone Travell. So you're crazy. You're crazy.
I never said I would. What are you talking about? Why are you making stuff up?
Okay, whatever.
I never said that. I
wouldn't want to get into I'm not getting into hand fights with Logan Glynn.
I'm not getting into any fight with Logan Glynn.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt me. I'm too old.
Yeah, no way. All right, let's wrap the show up here with our main man, Cody Manquist, who helped me out and came by my house and kind of put some salt
down.
Threw some salt down on my street in his truck thing.
He didn't want you to crack that melon open.
I wasn't going to do that, but yeah, he helped me out big time on Saturday, so I could actually get to the Council Bluffs Classic. So that actually helped me out big time. What's up, Cody?
This is kind of rough. You're making me follow up Kyler, Logan, and Coach Rutledge, so I feel on the spot.
Yeah.
No, you're fine because no matter how bad you do, the show was already great.
I mean, there were some studs right there.
You're last. We made Drew follow Cade Ziola last week.
Yeah, he.
Yeah. No, Drew did a good job last week. Kind of disappointed his thumbs up wasn't working, but
yeah, that didn't work. All right, so walk us through what happened this past weekend. We talked, Lincoln East won. There were individual champions, all this stuff.
The fun part is you had Lincoln East number 1, Grand Island number 2, Kearney number 4, and they're all going to be wrestling each other in the dual format this weekend at Fracas. So that was really interesting. Lincoln East, like you guys kind of talk about with Rutledge, when they get their lineup set, they're going to be, I think they're the top contender to Creighton Prep. I mean, they're loaded. Creighton Prep's loaded. And Millard South's going to be really good with their hammers. They got their 5 or 6 guys that can all be state champions. So, I mean, I'm really interested. I wish Millard South would wrestle in state more, make things a lot easier on my end. But, I mean, that's part of the reason, these kids, every year everyone complains oh, Millard South, they get these great kids, right? But the point of wanting to go to these programs is because they go to these national tournaments. They're going to Kansas City, they're going to Wisconsin, and that's the best way for these kids to get their names out there.
Mm-hmm. They're going to Cheesehead this weekend, correct?
Yeah. They're at Kansas City. Them and Creighton.
Yeah, I got it. Sorry.
Well, and I think the thing that people need to understand too is that Millard South, it's been a 20 some odd year thing. It's more than just an exposure. They've built a really good culture out there, and same with Lincoln East and Prep's building that culture back up. It's cool to see these coaches do good things.
One thing I wanted to bring up with you having Rutledge. So Millard South had their first dynasty. Grand Islands had 2 dynasties. Millard South had another dynasty. What's been the one constant thing the last 20 years?
That's Lincoln East in the top 2?
Yeah.
Well, they were the dynasty before Millard South, too.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they got a couple state titles in there. It wasn't always, just Grand Island or Millard South, but I mean, they are always so tough, and it doesn't matter because they're not getting, these. I think obviously they had Max Mayfield, so I don't want to discount him, but they're not pushing out 6, 7 D1 guys. They're just so solid top to bottom every year with grinders. He was talking about their upper weights. They got a freshman that not going to be able to make the lineup because he's got state qualifiers. But that kid, if he was at any other school, would be a state qualifier. Like, he was a state champion the last 2 years in youth. Like, oh, sorry, just sit and wait your time.
Yeah, you have. I mean, and that's one of those things where he said they didn't have basically any individual champions. Or they have like 6 individual champions, but they still won the tournament because they just racked up all these points because they just kept wrestling back and winning.
Yeah, and I mean that's what you got to do. That's that if they're gonna take down prep, that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to be solid at all 14 weights. But I did, like you were mentioning, I was very busy Friday dealing with all of Omaha that doesn't know how to drive in ice, and Saturday morning. But I did get to see a little bit of wrestling. I got over to Norfolk and Scott duel.
Oh, yeah.
Scott had to win the final 3 matches to win that duel.
Yeah, Norfolk is right there. I mean, clearly we talked about last week, they beat Millard South in a duel. Millard South doesn't have their lineup set and all that stuff. Yes, I know that. But still, like, I mean,
still can't take away from Norfolk. They beat the guys that were in front of them.
Right. No, that's not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like, watch out for Norfolk, like in this conversation.
Yeah.
And they looked good. I mean, it's tough that the match had to end with Hurrdat, Welty, Ziola. That's a tough combination to beat for any school. So, I mean, if you're on Scott's side, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a really competitive duel, good environment. It was supposed to be the Chieftain duels at Bellevue East.
Right.
North Platte was told to turn around on Friday night, so they couldn't make it. Obviously, the whole OPS thing, so Omaha North couldn't make it. Although Ryan Terry did make it over for the duel with Norfolk and Scott, so I got to talk to him a little bit. And then Elkhorn South, I don't know where they were. They were supposed to be in it, but I don't know if Elkhorn Public Schools had a kind of like what Millard and Omaha did or whatnot with activities, so they were not there.
Well, and that kind of stings too, is that we missed out on so much good wrestling because of the weather, and
it really stings on my end trying to figure out where all these teams are going to fill in at. Like, I know Bryan, they weren't allowed to go to Crete, so we did not get to see Zion Unle round 3.
Yeah,
but they are going to they were able to add Platteview this weekend. I know talking to Ryan Terry last night, they're kind of looking around for after the first of the year a tournament to get into because they're pretty busy up until then. So it's just trying to figure out where all these teams are going to add because so many tournaments were canceled this weekend.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, in order to also have dual stuff that maybe that's why Scott had to get that in.
Yeah, if Scott didn't get that in, they weren't going to be eligible for state duels.
Right, like they had to get.
Oh
it.
wow.
Yeah. So that's why they just pivoted.
We're gonna 5. So
yeah.
Okay,
look ahead to this weekend. We talked a little bit about.
Jeez, what are you doing?
Sorry, man. I knocked my mic.
No, we're good.
Why are you so angry?
Hey, Sautter,
what?
you should go home this weekend.
What?
Sutherland invites going on.
You said home. I lived there 1 year in my life.
I know. I've been to your house.
I am home right now. No, what? Hey, so
how do you live on the only hill in your whole neighborhood?
That's a great question. I don't know. and my house faces my driveway faces north.
Just be very happy you have a park at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, well, my driveway faces north, so it never and I have a big evergreen tree in my front yard that covers up my driveway. So it's a little rough. Yeah.
Your wife is just a saint for all your stupid decisions you make, buying houses on hills and.
Yeah, because your last house, when I went there, you had to go down a big hill to get to it.
Yes, that's true too. Yeah, but that was at the bottom of that.
And so we don't get off track too much. Obviously, the big one with what's going on this weekend is going to be Fracas. Logan View for Class C. We're streaming that is absolutely loaded. You got a couple Class B teams in there with Central City and Lexington and Fort Calhoun. But then Class C, Broken Bow, Logan View, Syracuse, Superior, who's got a great team. UTN's got some hammers. So it's going to be really exciting. Really looking forward to that one. Wahoo's extremely talented going on. Plattview's going to be talented. So there's a lot going on this weekend. I think we're getting more into in-state stuff now.
Yeah.
A couple teams that are still traveling, going to tournaments out of state, but it's nice that we're starting to see guys get their hands on each other more now locally. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And then after the moratorium, that'll slow down. Then we're just kind of in-state stuff.
Yes. Chuck, are you going to South Dakota with the team?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. I wish them well, but I won't be traveling.
I mean, Madison, South Dakota is beautiful. I've been
Great
there.
place. Just absolutely great place, but I will not be there.
They have in the summer a giant
Phenomenal sandwiches in that town.
Yeah, they also have a huge festival for steam-powered equipment every summer.
That sounds like something I probably won't go to either.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. Good times.
My no comment is enough right here.
Yeah.
No.
What were your guys like? What was your biggest takeaway from Council Bluffs outside of Lincoln East?
I think Grand Island's kind of depth.
Yeah.
I think that was one. We should probably talk about girls a little bit too. I mean, Preacher did a good job. I mean, she won.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the
West
Council Bluffs Classic in general just showed us how much depth we have in the state. Like we're getting better quick.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Also, West Side on the girls' side had a nice showing too. I thought
with what's left of their team.
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries.
A lot of stuff.
How about the Gates family as a whole from Grand Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
good little wrestlers.
They're pretty good.
So that excuse me.
Jeez.
Yes, they did good.
Did either of you guys get to see that Castillo kid wrestle from Ames?
No, but I heard about it.
Holy cow. That's what he wrestled Mink in the finals, and he's must-see TV.
I did not.
And I think Notero won it too, didn't she?
He don't.
Yeah, I believe so. And then Barber, she won it at 55.
Carson McBride from Kearney, 15.
Yeah, the how crazy is it the level of competition for girls wrestling in Nebraska? How much it's improved just in these few years that it's been a sanctioned sport.
I mean, we hit it on week one. The simple fact that Grand Island doesn't have a varsity basketball team, but they have 60 girls out for wrestling.
Right.
I mean, and there's opportunities. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, there are so many college opportunities to be had with wrestling, girls wrestling being so new, where that's an avenue. In wrestling, your body doesn't matter. It's not like volleyball or basketball where you got to be 6'2" to even have a chance.
Right.
You know, I mean, you don't got to be fast like a track athlete. You know,
that's kind of the great thing about wrestling, though, is it's kind of for everyone.
Yes, and that's what I love about it, and I love the opportunities it can create, the friendships it can create, the life lessons you can learn from it. I mean, Kate hit on that with you guys last week a lot.
Yeah. Let's talk about what's going on in Lincoln with the triangular, I guess. Was it UNK and Augustana?
And Augustana has a lot of Nebraska kids.
Right.
So it'll be, I think they moved the times up. I last saw because Nebraska Augustana, I think, is at 4:30 now.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Zach Hurrdat is on a roll right now for Kearney.
A monster.
He just took out a ranked kid from UNI was it Friday or Saturday? So he's doing good.
Well, and then not just him, another Nebraska guy that we have at 125, Jacason Burks.
Yeah, Jacason went the whole Midwest Classic.
Yeah.
And Hunter Jacobson finished, I think, 8th in the Midwest Classic, taking out 3 ranked guys for shattering. So he's a Waverly product, Lincoln Southwest Waverly product. So college wrestling's really good in the state right now.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a fan of wrestling in Nebraska.
Yeah, boys and girls. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a trio down at Fort Hays State of girls that are cooking right now. They're dominating.
Yes.
So
Yes.
be good. And Morgan Moshman from Beatrice just committed this past weekend to Fort Hays too. So
Yeah. I saw that.
She's a stud.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see if we get Moshman Peacher round 2 this year at state. So that was a really good finals match last year.
I'm guessing.
I think that's what the people want.
Yeah. I definitely.
I'm guessing that's probably a good possibility.
I'm guessing that's what Beatrice as a whole wants. So, and another shout out to Beatrice as Merrick Johnson put on a show at Crete this weekend, beat the Class C state champ by Tech Fall.
Oh wow.
He's on
Most
another.
Beatrice kids come to battle all the time, though.
Yeah,
They're very well coached.
Johnson, if you don't perform,
Right.
the crazy leprechaun.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Or wait,
I'm not wanting to get yelled at when his face turns red and he's got that vein coming out right here.
Chuck, we have like 17 nicknames for Jordan Johnson. I mean,
He had a lake named after him.
Yeah, he has a lake. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, I mean, come on, the guy's on.
Yeah. Okay. Wrap up the show. Final thoughts, Chuck, Cody. What do you got?
Chuck,
Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead, Cody.
well, I'm trying to focus now, but I'm watching one of the greatest wrestlers of all time from the state of Nebraska dominate on a football field right now.
Harrison Phillips.
You bet. He's a stud.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's doing all right.
Just like kind of what we were touching on earlier, I'm just super excited about the direction the state's going with wrestling. It wasn't that long ago that I feel like we were only getting a handful of people to go to Fargo, or that, maybe we only had 1 or 2 guys that can compete on the national stage. But that's a big testament to all those club coaches that are putting in time, and with these guys in the off season, all the high school head coaches and coaches in general that are putting in the time in the off season. Just let's keep this momentum going. Keep this train rolling.
I want to add on to something Chuck just said. I think the biggest difference that we've seen in the last probably 5 or 6 years is at that club level, we're getting away from the personalization of you can only go to my club, or you can only do this. And Kate hit on that last week. That's another thing that really impressed me about him is you need to go to different places to see different things.
Mm-hmm.
There's different styles, different coaching methods, and just because you go one place or another doesn't mean you only have to do that thing. Take something you learn from everywhere.
Yeah.
And use it to your advantage. I mean, that you got to continue to learn and grow. And that's what I think is happening these last couple of years. And this is going to be kind of a negative comment. I think a lot of it with these last couple of years is our coaches are getting younger with coming straight out of wrestling in college.
Yeah.
Where we're getting, I don't want to say better coaching, because I feel like that's kind of a knock, because we've had a lot of great coaches.
Right.
But it's just,
it's an evolution of coaching, right?
Yeah, it's fresh ideas.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's gotten a lot better too.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, appreciate your time. What?
I said, how about you? Any final thoughts?
No, I agree. I mean, I think the depth of wrestling in the state is just tremendous, where you could have, you're not going to be a state champion, but you're still going to be really dang good. Right. And the more people that cover it and do a good job of it and pay attention to it, the better. But I don't know, people like me can't be there every day. Right. Or at everything. So I try and do the best I can with what I got. So
I commend you, because I didn't get to see you last week. great job on hosting the awards. I watched the whole thing on YouTube that night. So you did really good.
Football awards thing is what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
He's
Whatever.
everywhere.
Yeah. It's a bit.
Yeah, Mike, that is a testament to you though too, is that you're very well respected around here, and every time I see somebody at a tournament, they come up and say, "Hey, we love the show. We appreciate what you guys do." So thank you for letting me share my love of the sport with everybody too.
Couldn't do it without you there, big guy. Couldn't do it without you.
Happy to drive home Friday night because I didn't want to have to come rescue you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't drive home Friday night. Nope, I stayed in Lincoln. So that's all right. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Another week. We'll be back next
Christmas next Wednesday.
Wait, yeah, Christmas is Wednesday. Maybe we'll figure out a time to do it at some point in the next
episode.
It might be during the moratorium is when we'll just do something. So we'll figure it out.
Game for the first time in like a decade. So
what'd you say?
You got a Husker Bowl game for the first time in a decade.
If that's your thing, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I mean,
oh yeah, we got some former wrestlers out on the field.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I'll watch.
I'll play there too.
Oh yeah, you're your guy, Vince. Yeah, that's your guy, Cody. Cody's the big North Platte guy.
Dang right.
He loves North Platte.
He does. He does love North Platte.
Tomorrow night, North Platte Grand Island duel. It's gonna be a really good one.
Oh wow, yeah, could be it. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of duels tomorrow.
Yeah, well, they have to get stuff in before the moratorium comes, so which starts on Sunday actually.
Nice.
This week. So, all right, guys, thank you for your time once again.
All right, love you guys.
Oos.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.